to the skate park?
Probably not today.
Why?
Today is Sunday. All right.
Sunday means skate park day.
Sunday means skate park day.
Why's there plastic on it?
That's the real question. We went looking around the other day and went to Big Lots, and it said $25, but it had 50% off marked on it. So I couldn't help myself. The kids enjoy riding on my skateboard, but they kind of would like one for themselves, or more than one, perhaps. So when we saw this for half off of $25, I was like, oh, I'll go check that price. Let's make sure what it is. We ended up getting 2 skateboards, paying a little over $8 a piece for them, which is just a steal. So what we're gonna do now, these boards are probably not particularly wonderful, so we're gonna take this thing apart a little bit and make it better. So the first thing we're gonna do is, they've got plastic underneath the bolts. We're gonna take all the bolts and everything off, gonna take the trucks off completely, and get the plastic out from underneath everything.
And not even off the wheels.
Nylon lock nuts. Can you say nylon?
Nylon.
Yeah, that means that they've got plastic in them. Look in there. See the plastic? It's like that's what it's called, nylon. It helps hold these nuts in there. I wish you could see how much resistance there is in this bearing. Like it's wiggly up and down, and it is not smooth. Can you see it wiggle? Look how much slop there is. Look at it. That's as much thread as there is showing for this nut to go onto, which is not enough to actually engage the nylon. That's as good as this is ever going to be. Right there. So that's tight enough that the locking material is engaged a little bit, not so tight that the wheel's virtually non-moving at all. That's crazy. Old board Amazon wheels and bearings. You can see what we're dealing with here. My Powell Peralta with a little better equipment. Versus the Tony Hawk Signature Series. Like, I hope you get the point here. Can you see that these don't turn at all? Let me show you something. Okay, hang on. Here is my good skateboard. These are very expensive, and that'll give you an idea of what we're supposed to be dealing with here. Because the truck itself, I don't know if you can see that, there's no thread. There's not enough thread. So what we're gonna do, look at that, no thread at all. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take these nuts off, and I'm going to clean the bearings, and I'm gonna shave these nuts down ever so slightly, and we're gonna see if that might make this actually work. I've got this punch that fits into one of my deep sockets that fits the nut that I'm using, and this thing is graduated so I can actually see measurement on it and allow me to push this up against my grinding wheel in an even fashion, because I've got control over it. I've got control over it here. Alright, so it's just in there like that. I've got control, and I can sand this down. I can remove material from it
and very quickly do this, and it won't be such a danger to myself and others. As you saw, I've trimmed this thing down a little bit and made a little meeting point at the base. Here, these are pretty flat. I don't know if you can see that, but they're pretty darn flat and wide, whereas this is far more narrow, right, by comparison. I also rounded out the edges, as you can see there, so that only the very centralmost portion is going to grip that bearing, because the style of bearing we have here, I don't want anything touching the gold part. I just want the very center to touch the nut, to kind of loosen everything up in there. So I gave it a little WD. Alright, little WD-40 on both sides. Alright, let that soak in to the bearing. And that really loosens things up by a big margin, but the WD will eventually evaporate out of there. What we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of oil, real oil, on that bearing. Good old-fashioned 3-in-1. And let that work its way in. So let's try it. So here's our wheel. Putting it on. I've already treated the wheel. The wheel's in great shape now. It's actually functional. I'm going to put this sucker on there and tighten her down. See where things fall. Okay. So it's now biting into the nylon, which is good. And if you look, still got a little wiggle, which is nice. Now, original untouched wheel, doctored fixed up wheel. Ho ho! We may be onto something here, folks. We may be onto something. The idea here is to get the young man exposed to skateboarding in a fashion that's easily accessed at a fair price. So let's see what we can do. Ooh, carve that ball. Woo! We're in the center board. Ready? Good job. Good job. Great. Good. Man. What do you think, big guy? Whoa! You ready to do this?
Back where we came from. Right here. Ready? Get your knees. Get ready to ride. You got your arms out? Going this way. There he goes. Look at him ride transition. Alright, do it again. Hop on. Good job. Started, and you're gonna ride, alright? Look at where you're going. Yeah, now ride it back. Oh, you fell over. Come on. You just about had it. Here, come on, do it again. George, let's go. Ready? Yeah! Look at him. All right, buddy. Give me a high five. Ooh. Oh, you did so good. You rode in that transition. Want to do it again, or are you done? All right, hang on, stay close. How was your first ride down transition?
Good.
Was it fun? Didn't get hurt at all, did you? Strong man. All right, now what do you want to do? Let's go to the playground. All right.